And a good morning to you. Welcome inside the Bottom Line. Lanny Ford, Remembered along with you this morning. It's Tuesday, day after Labor Day. Hope you had a great Labor Day holiday.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to tell you, I
fantastic.
Noticed it yesterday afternoon. I don't know. I was outside with the dogs about 5:30. And if you were in the shade, there was a light breeze blowing, and it was actually pleasant.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I was surprised. It was pleasant. Snuck off Sunday morning, went and played golf.
Yeah.
We played a little three-man captain's choice between the three of us.
Okay.
And the one is the better golfer of us. He's a southpaw. He said, let's set a goal what we want to shoot today. So he said, let's shoot 75. I said, okay, I'm in. When we got to the last two holes, we were 7 under.
Whoa.
And kind of came apart a little bit. Finished 4 under, but that's still pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a team that would be respectable in a captain's choice tournament, which I like to play in anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It makes it move a little quicker.
Yeah. But that's what we did. Wes recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
You know, he had the virus, so he's still a little weak. So the back nine, he didn't do drives. He did irons and putts, and so he was a little down.
I got to tell you, Lenny, I really feel like I'm finally starting to get over.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, it's different for everybody, right, that maybe had it. Or, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, not like the flu, but, I mean, when you have a severe flu, it takes a few weeks.
And the biggest thing is your
two.
Strength, especially as you get older.
Yes, and, well.
And you're not old. I'm old.
Yeah, I am. I got a lot of mileage.
Trust
me.
The
years aren't that many, but the mileage is, wow, the mileage is long. But it's interesting. This past couple of weeks, I could really feel my stamina starting to come back. And so tell Wes to hang in there. I mean, it's different for everybody, but I feel like I'm finally starting to get over that hump.
So can I just say that I don't have any energy because I've had the flu, even if I hadn't had the flu, or is it just an old thing? See, you start to get my age, you can't decide which one it is. You don't know which part of that it is. But glad to have you guys. Hope you like the new Luke Kuechly helmet.
Wonderful.
I'm going to kill him if he don't stop. You know, we were playing. He said, "Don't let me forget. I got something in my car for you."
Yeah, I got something for you, Dad.
Yeah, and he pulls out that. And do you know why he wanted that?
No, I don't. But I know there's a story behind it.
You're going to like this. He said, I just felt like it was time to rotate something else up there in front of that maiden helmet.
That's what Wes said?
That's what Wes said.
Okay, so Wes, you're fired. Yeah. Boy, rough weekend for
Andrew, stop it. Andrew said he just finished day 14. Thank goodness I'm skinny. I hope you dropped a whole bunch of weight then.
Dude, I did the exact opposite.
You and Bull.
I was the Bull.
The Bull.
I love the Bull. I did the exact opposite. I put on like going into COVID.
Water weight.
Shoot.
You were retaining.
Shoot.
You were retaining.
I was retaining something. They do talk about, and I think Richie's on here this morning. He could probably say something to that effect, but they do talk about, your red blood cells and everything's becoming swollen, and but what was interesting was it's like 17 pounds. Like beginning of December last year, I was like 261, and by the end of COVID, I was almost 280. So it was.
I'm debating. I've gained probably 15, 18 pounds since I've had my surgery. So I'm debating as to what I want to do about that. And I know what's causing it. They keep crap at the house all the time, nothing but crap, Oreos and cookies and bundt cakes and mess like that everywhere. So I know what's causing it. It's not that I don't know what's causing it, but I thought about before I had my surgery, they put you on a liquid diet of OptiFast.
Yeah.
And the 2 weeks leading up to my surgery on OptiFast, drinking those 5 juice boxes a day. 800 calories.
Right.
I dropped 23 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I thought about, not solid on that, still do my protein shake in the morning and maybe one meal, but the rest of the day, just those shakes and get the calories down. It's just, I like to eat. I mean.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that, so many, everybody's different. I mean, it is what it is, but our metabolisms, all these things. But the habits that you, especially as a player. I mean, I remember when I got to East Carolina, I was like 168 pounds. And I
remember in the 5th grade, I was 168
Yeah, you probably were. Your leg was probably, but they told me, they said, dude, we appreciate how fast you are, your arm strength, all this stuff you can hit, but if a gust of wind comes by in one of these spring storms, you're going to blow away. And what was interesting was, you get with your, science team and, the team doctors and all these things, the medical personnel, whatever, and they do hydrostatic weighing and, all these things, as far as body fat goes and all this stuff. I mean, they do it right. And basically what it was is they put me on 5 meals a day. And they said, with the weight training that we do, the fact that you're not playing 3 sports anymore, 4 sports, whatever, and you're concentrating on one, we really feel like you can put, 10 to 15 to 18 solid pounds on. Let me tell you something. My body fat was about 8% when I got there, 8 point whatever. That was in August. This is how intense it is. By May, I was 204. My body fat dropped to 5%. So my point is, now you think 5%, that is just like ridiculous.
Well, the other thing is, it's
crazy.
The part that people don't understand, they can't figure out how these celebrities and stuff do it.
Yeah.
But if you and I had a personal chef.
Well, if that's all we did.
If you and I had a personal chef that made sure that we ate right and it was still good.
Right.
You wouldn't have weight issues.
No, and the point is like when you eat 5 meals a day, 7 o'clock, 10:30.
But it's what you're eating.
1:30, right, 1:30, I believe 5:30, and then again at night. There were 5 times that I was eating a day. And, what they basically it was proteins and heavy carbs. It wasn't anything about sweets or I didn't even want any sweets. It was just nutritious food, those kind of things, and working out real hard and just growing into your man body, right? Well, the problem is you can do that till you're about 27 years old.
You got to stop,
and then you need to really, really try to cut back. But when you compete, and you never make that transition till later from being a competitor because you do it while you're coaching too, right? So, but yeah.
Listen, Ryan, Whole Foods, be in a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
Get 30 to 1 hour a day in cardio-resistant training.
No, that's right. But if your body can take it.
Yeah.
Now I've had ACLs.
And your age, Ryan? What's your age?
Well, Ryan,
I'm sneaking up on 62.
To Ryan's point, I coached him. He's incredible. He's on the Rembert all-time team as far as players go. He's just an amazing player. But his body, he is always taking care of his body. And, he's been fortunate not to have major injuries. When you have guys like us that have gone through multiple surgeries, the cardio thing, there's only so much I can do before I can't get off that bike and walk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I wobble.
Or if I'm, like up on my feet. Now, I'm not making excuses. What I'm saying is it's just a fact. Mm-hmm. So it's like Ryan's saying, you've got to go in the caloric deficit. And a lot of these athletes, what I was getting to is, the training – that is required. Yes, it does do things to your body. There's a lot of people that do those fitness, clubs and all these things, and there'll be some benefits and lack thereof down the road for that. But the one thing you got to do, like he's talking about, is try to be in a caloric deficit. Eat leaves and meat. Okay, basically. Caleb was telling me and Coach Byrne about his dietitian. Like when he opted out last year, Drew Rosenhaus went ahead. Mm-hmm. He went in and signed with his agent, and they went ahead and fronted him and got him everything he needed, put him in a training facility, all these things. But he had a dietitian, and he said, "Coach, it's crazy, like how much better I feel."
Oh, I could do it too.
And he said, "Yeah," and he said, "I recover quicker." It's just a lot of good things that he's talking about.
Ryan's 29, almost 30.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm 61 on the downhill side, sliding to 62.
49 going on 82 over here.
Yeah. And the body years, you don't figure body years. I'm pretty well triple digit. I'm almost certain.
But Ryan knows these things. He's very good at what he does.
That's how much things have changed. Mm-hmm. When I went to Clemson, we had training table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but training table with us, there were no dietitians, no nutritionists.
Oh, no.
It was just a ton of food in the trough.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Monday night was big porterhouse steaks on the grill out back of the cafeteria where we were eating. Yeah. So, listen, you're still young then. Okay. let me swap my body for yours when you get up in the morning, and then tell me that. But we just had a lot of weight. Now I didn't gain, but just a few pounds when I went to Clemson. But I rearranged it in being down there. My peak when I was down there was 53-inch chest, 38-inch waist, 19-inch guns, and weighed 260 pounds. And could run a 4.940, which is pretty good for a fat boy 40-plus years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Lanny.
That's why I was a pulling guard, because I could get out there. Anyway, enough stories. Enough stories. Breaking news yesterday. You saw the announcement last week that UConn's Randy Edsall was going to retire at the end of the season. Well, he took a beat down on Saturday. And he stepped down immediately.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good move. He needs to go ahead. I mean, when it's run its course, it's run its course. The problem with most people is they try to hang around too long. Announce retirements for down the road, things like that. Just when you're ready, go. It's time.
How old do you think he is?
He's 63.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's been in it a long time.
And he's done a great job. I mean, I hope this
didn't
does
have
not,
the success that he had the first time.
Different, obviously a different run. But, the excitement of the program is what got him, the notoriety he got. And all the great things that he did, his first tenure there, and then tried to, do those things the second tenure. Problem is everybody else has figured out, I say everybody, a lot of other places have figured out how to do those things and build that excitement, and it makes it tougher to recruit.
2 games into his fourth season, he was 6-32.
Yeah, it was time. It was time. That's okay.
Now, and he was the one that moved UConn into the FBS.
Yep.
Now, I asked Juju this yesterday. Maybe you'll remember it better than I do, and better than he did. When they used to have the New Year's Day bowls, this was back in the BCS era. If you won your conference, certain teams went to big-time bowls.
Yeah.
They went to the Fiesta Bowl and lost millions of dollars that the state legislature had to pay because they're a state school. And when they went to the Fiesta Bowl, as I said, and when you do that, you're obligated to X amount of tickets, X amount of hotel rooms, that kind of stuff. And nobody was going from Connecticut to Arizona to watch UConn play football.
It's like rice.
It wasn't happening.
Yeah,
it was well over $1 million.
Yeah.
Edsall went 22-34 at Maryland. Got fired halfway through his 5th season, and you just hate to see it end that way. That's the part that I don't like.
Do. You do, and again, some people are able to make that jump and continue building. Continue to, grow their programs, how they're doing things. PJ Fleck is a great example of, someone that can take the steps and, take it to the next level. And there was no reason that, Coach Edsall, was not going to do that. He just, there was no indication that he wouldn't be able to. You build at UConn, if you get resources around you think, okay, I go to Maryland or somewhere like that, then it's really going to be on. One of the hidden things sometimes, though, Laney, is that internal motivation that you have when you're a small place and you're building that and you can get the excitement. When you have all those resources, complacency sets in with a lot of the people, i.e. the athletes and the coaches, and that's what happens. When you don't have a lot, you're motivated. When you have a lot, you're like, well, holy cow, this is pretty cool. Maybe I'm not going to get here at 4:45 in the morning and work. I'm going to wait and come in at 6, 6:30 or 7. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying there's different factors, when you grow into those levels and get promoted through.
I heard a thought, I think it was Cal Hurd, had a thought that when one of the things that's hurting Dallas Cowboys, is their facilities are too nice. There's too much comfort.
Yeah, they're too good.
They pay them too well.
Yes,
there's no hunger there.
No.
And that's why they can't get over the hump to the next level.
Well, I mean, when a player signs with Dallas, whether it be on the practice squad or with the team, and they actually make the roster, or even in the facility, they feel like they've got it made. I mean, there's unlimited health care, around them. There's unlimited, family services. I mean, people often discount what Jerry Jones does and what he means to people. He employs
He means well, but he doesn't know how to run an NFL franchise.
I think he does. I think that he doesn't know how to win, that winning championships is not part. He wants to, but he runs the franchise really, really well because of the money that is brought in and the people that are employed and all this. But when you talk about winning championships, sometimes we get in our own way, maybe a little bit of that, and that is likely the case.
He gets in his way too much, and he doesn't want anybody to be hungry, and sometimes you have to be hungry to want it enough. Let me take a time out, come back. We'll hit just a little bit of college football. Forrest got to shove out of here a little quickly. Thursday, 4 and I will make our picks for the weekend in the NFL. Juju and I will make our picks tomorrow. One of the guys that was playing with us, well, I'll tell the story again when we come back.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Glad to have you in the house this morning. Beautiful day outside, 60 degrees. It's 8:20 and still 60 degrees. I'll take it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Butch said he was at the game against Oklahoma, flew back with some UConn fans, and they hated Etzel. After the game, he did not meet with his team. He got on Maryland's team jet and flew directly to Maryland. Surprised they rehired him back at UConn.
That's pretty good.
But if you were at the Oklahoma game, that's one of the ones. Oklahoma, and let me go ahead and get on the record. My Tigers looked terrible. They were anemic on offense.
Oh, they're brutal.
Ugliaglier, whatever he is, he looked terrified, whether that's the offensive line. I don't know what it is. I think the defense played really well to hold Georgia scoreless.
Yeah, the defense
basically
is good.
Offensively on a touchdown.
Absolutely.
But they got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of work. I don't see them where they're at right now. I do not see them as a playoff team competing for national championship.
You're right. No, they're not. There's nobody, and you can talk about Notre Dame and Florida State, and that's fine. There is nobody on the level of Alabama.
Richie just said what he learned over the weekend. There's still a huge gap from what Alabama puts on the field and what everybody else puts on the field.
Now that doesn't mean that there won't be teams that drastically improve over the year, throughout this season, if they're allowed to, and continue to improve and make it competitive. And I'm not saying Alabama can't be beat. I'm saying right now it is obvious when you look on a team who's got the horses and who does not. Mm-hmm. And you got to have them on both sides of the ball to be a national champion. Mm-hmm. The old thing about defense wins championships, offense wins games. That's great, but let me tell you something. You got to go out and you got to compete. And Alabama does a great job of playing defense offensively. They're on the offensive when they play defense. They're not waiting on anything.
Let me tell you the surprise team for me this year. And I think the biggest game in the SEC and maybe in college football is October the 9th.
Which is?
Alabama has to go to College Station and play A&M.
Yes.
A&M's going to surprise some people.
I agree with you 100%, and I think Ole Miss is going to continue to get better as the season goes on.
I think last night was an inflated win.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't, but what I'm saying is that the offensive prowess is there.
Yes.
To be able to put points on the board and then give them the opportunity to outscore people as their defense continues to improve. And the two things that I noticed over the weekend. Number one, like Rich was saying, how much better Alabama still is than everybody else with new names. Same type players, new names. But number two, how good Notre Dame's transfer quarterback really is. Mm-hmm. That he very quietly does his job. Numbers were amazing. Florida State couldn't be happier that they're back on the map. Thank you, Lord. It makes college football better.
Virginia Tech.
I got to tell you, I don't know, man. I don't know about that either. I wasn't.
We were at Kickback Jack's eating.
Yeah.
And the TV's wrong. Was watching Charlotte and Duke, watching Carolina. There was a guy in there, had on his Tar Heel visor and his Mac is back blue Carolina shirt, and he had the same look of confusion on his face that Mac did.
Yeah, I mean.
That's a tough place to go play.
Well, no, it is. And the environment, it's incredible. And you can win or lose any game. We know that. Your chances are half-baked like everybody says. It's 50-50 no matter what when you compete. But, for that particular game. But, I just wasn't. I don't know, man. It just didn't. I think the ACC is in real trouble, with the exception of Florida State. You know, Clemson's really good. They're gonna bounce back. They'll find a way to move the football. But
Thoughts on a couple of these games? I asked this question of Juju. Ohio State, Minnesota. Ohio State wins 45-31. Is that saying more about Ohio State or more about Minnesota?
Minnesota. It says more about Minnesota.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. That's
just my. I mean, that's my take on it. Like when I look how they're not ranked with what that guy does up there. I'll never know. I think Butch had mentioned a few weeks ago how good Fleck was, and or something to that effect. You know what a good job. He's exactly right. I mean, the guy has got it figured out, and he's got that positive vibe with his kids. You know, he's great running backs out for the season. But that guy, let me tell you something. He knows what he's doing. And I know they're going to give him an opportunity to stay at Minnesota. He is really, really good at what he does.
Now, Andrew, stop thinking with your heart. Clemson will be just fine. Okay, the process is in place. I hope they've got somebody to back him up.
Well, he's going to have to run the football instead of worrying about throwing it downfield.
Yes. They never showed him as an athlete.
No. And that's the thing that he's recruited for. Yes, he's big, and yes, he's strong, and he's got a great arm. But it's like Cam Newton.
See, he reminds me of Cam.
Huh?
He reminds me of Cam.
Does he?
Just his physique.
Well, I think he's so much I think he's so much better at throwing the football.
Just physically,
But remember, in the game, Georgia really didn't have to worry about them throwing the football. You know, because they're putting so much pressure on him. He was not running the ball. There was no balanced threat.
Yep.
You know, in that game, and Georgia dictated that narrative. They shut down the passing game for all intents and purposes. Now, I was talking to Keith yesterday. His son, of course, you know, plays at Clemson, and right before practice yesterday, and he was telling me that the boy, when the interception was thrown through, ran the wrong route. He said that was 100% on the receiver. He said but that happens. He said you got to be able to overcome one of those. You know, he was talking, and of course he was talking about what Dabo told the team and. You know, things like that. But, Georgia is really, really good.
Yeah.
But they still got to wait.
Florida-Georgia matchup be a good one, too.
Yeah.
Andrew said Clemson had 3 or 4 quarterbacks look good this weekend. Yes, except they were playing for other places. That's the only problem. TJ said the atmosphere was crazy at Lane Stadium. They must have went up for the Virginia Tech.
He was there.
But he had a blue shirt on.
Yeah, they're Tar Heels.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. I'll let it go.
Absolutely.
But said best story of the weekend was Mackenzie Wilson's unbelievable comeback after horrendous injury to lead Florida State to an 18-point fourth quarter to tie the game, force overtime. He had a number of back surgeries, had a congenital effect, didn't he?
Knee.
Was it knee?
Yes, that's the boy that they had all the nerve damage. They said he would never walk again without pain. Butch is right. There is no better. Coach Parker,
you like 100%, to see those.
100%. That guy. The fact that he's back out there playing after everything he's been through, this is a story that could be similar to Alex Smith's comeback story.
Yeah.
But Butch is right. This is absolutely the story of the week.
Richie said, I was surprised at how bad Carolina looked. I didn't think they were a top 10 team going into the game, but I didn't expect that. The other part that you should be concerned about if you're a Carolina fan, Sam Howell's gone after this year.
Yeah.
He'll go NFL, then what are you going to do? Because that's honestly kind of all they got.
You just start over.
Bill Klein, good morning. And I do give Georgia's defense some credit, but Clemson's supposed to be one of the top-tier offenses in the country.
Yeah, they were anemic. I mean, there
was nothing there.
And again, we're here, they're there. They do what they do, and there's a reason they're there. But being critical, it was anemic, and it was awful. And it was not what you expect from a team that and a coaching staff that's been in several national championships and been on that stage for a while. I know that they're human. They'll fix it, and things will get better, but it's going to have to get a lot better.
They've got to run the table, and it should not be a problem, but that's the other problem. They don't have anybody decent on the schedule. South Carolina State this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, but they got it. Yeah, I know.
And nobody, the biggest threat that they would have inside their division is going to be Florida State and Louisville just got theirs handed to them.
Florida State and Louisville. Florida State's not going to be a rollover either. They are a very, very good football team. And Notre Dame, I tell you, Notre Dame, that offensive line they got, when they do start running the football, because the boy quarterbacking that came in from Wisconsin, is very, I think is it Cone or Cohen, Coan, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows how to run an offense and be a distributor. There was no flash to him. There was none of this, none of that. When Notre Dame starts running the football, their defense is going to get even better than what it is. And when they do that, they're going to give a lot of people a lot of problems, and there's a good chance, healthy-wise, all this, that they'll get where they are. Oklahoma is not a top 5 team. They may not even be a top 10 team. I'm sorry.
That's another one.
I'm sorry.
40-35 over Tulane.
But but what I'm saying is early in the year we find these things out. Now, can they be? Sure, but right now, no way.
Mm-hmm.
No way. No
and I know
way.
that A&M over Kent State was 41-10, and it was Kent State, but still, A&M is going to be a team to contend with in the SEC.
Yeah, oh yeah, and there's a reason that.
And can they beat Alabama? I don't know.
Florida
But
State
they can at least give them a game.
Everybody needs to take a lesson from Florida State that's on that higher level. Pay your people. There's no way you let Fisher leave because your program got set back 20 years, okay, because you let somebody outbid you. You don't have to do that. It's like, you have all these wannabe football programs that, we're hiring so-and-so and doing this, or we don't have the resource that. Look, if you're going to be on the big stage, put your big boy pants on and offer the money to the best candidate out there instead of somebody that fits your budget. Anytime you have a budget, that's all you're ever going to live up to is what the budget's at.
That's correct. When
you don't set a budget, you set expectation as well, then you will find a way for the income paying those people to meet the budget that's set. Okay? Just going on my rant for today. I can't. I'm an East Carolina guy, so just forgive me.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh my God. Kansas rolls in this week. Kansas rolls into Coastal Carolina down at Brooks Stadium in Conway. That's on Friday night. Saturday, some matchups. This would be a good one, I think. Oregon goes to the Shoe. Oregon at Ohio State. 12 o'clock game. This Saturday, noontime on Fox.
Ohio State by 28.
Okay.
All right.
The Chickens roll into ECU.
Chickens by 20.
Really?
Yep. Next. I'm some mad. Dude, you don't even want to get me started.
Pitt goes to Tennessee.
Oh.
That should be a good one. Let's see if there's any other ranked or decent games out there.
I'd watch for that Florida at South Florida game.
South Florida didn't show much.
No, they didn't. But remember, they tend to play the level of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So not that they're going to beat Florida. I'm just saying that'd be one to watch.
A&M plays the Buffaloes, Colorado.
Yeah. That'll be by 40.
There's not any really good ones. This is one. Drew Cronick, former head coach at Lenore-Ryan.
Yeah.
Is it Mercer?
Yep.
He's going to
He's
going to pick a check up in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to Alabama.
I like this because it helps fund the game of football for those that can't play at that level.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people say, well, I don't like them playing these small schools and it's just to give me and all that. Sometimes that's not a bad thing. Like when Western goes and plays at Oklahoma, that's going to fund not only Western's program, but the other sports that are in dire need of funding to provide opportunities for those collegiate athletes. It's about the experience. When you get that top-tier level, it's about the national championships. Other than that, yeah, you want to compete, but it's about the experience and life relationships, and I think it's awesome.
TJ said that Richie had said that Mac's recruiting a couple of 4- and 5-star quarterbacks to make kid out of Charlotte. He said, but he was thinking the same thing. Mac's been tearing it up recruiting, but the loss will be a setback.
It will be, but I think it's one they'll get over. Excuse me. And I do think, TJ's right, but I do think that that the fact that, like, Mac Brown, you don't let a kid like Caleb Farley out of your state. Mm-hmm. When Robbie took Caleb down to the junior day at Carolina, not one coach, anybody acknowledged he was there. Mm-hmm. He was a first-round pick this past spring. What in the heck is going on? Mac Brown would never, ever let that happen. Ever.
Nope.
Now, he may not go to Carolina, but he's going to lay it out there because he is a recruiter. He wants those kids in state. Mm-hmm. It's good for college football. It's good for ACC football. I just hope that they can continue. Last year, they 1 point away from beating Clemson. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, they've got to keep knocking on the door and doing that to make ACC football, continue to make it better. They've got to do that.
2 quick games, and I know you got to get out here. NC State travels to Mississippi State. That 45 they put up, I think that was a little inflation.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that good. They're not bad, but I don't think they're that good.
Mississippi State.
And then here is one
14.
that will be interesting.
Yeah.
App State travels down to Miami.
Yeah, Miami, after getting embarrassed by Alabama, they're going to put it on App.
Be interesting to
see. And I want App to do well. Again, when I say these things, it's not because I'm wishing ill. I'm a realist, and when you get embarrassed on national TV like Miami did, you say, "Well, it's Alabama."
See, I thought Clemson got embarrassed.
It was awful.
I mean,
they were
I
embarrassed.
Really did.
They were embarrassing.
Not by the score, but by the amount, the anemic performance of the offense. The defense. If the defense hadn't played like they played, it would have really been embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's okay. All right, you got to find out what makes your team work. What you want to do, and your scheme, and your sometimes the players don't fit that. So that's when we find out how good a coach you really are.
Right.
Well, I'm going to do what I do, so I'm going to win this amount of games and get beat later. That don't make any sense. It's all about championships.
Long term
you got
goals.
to. You have to. If you're going to do right by the kids that are
not where I want to be today, where I want to be in 5 years.
Right. Because if you don't, you're going to be in the same place. That's how you can tell.
Businesses are the same way.
No, it's the same way. You got to look 5 to 10 years out.
Yep.
What changes can I make now that will put me where I see things going 5 to 10 years down the road? That way you always stay relevant and vibrant.
Stabilization. Stabilize the program so
Absolutely.
that you don't have these huge peaks and valleys. That's the other thing.
That's the other thing. It's you gotta be in control of your just say your program. You got to be in control of that environment. Doesn't mean you don't navigate and things come up and all this, but the gyrations like you're talking about are what
well,
what
the biggest thing, just like when at any level, it doesn't matter what it is, all we can do is control what we do. We can't control what they do.
Yeah,
so we just have to make sure we execute, and that's where Clemson did not. They did not execute. They did not get things done.
No,
Take a break so I don't hold him up. He's got to go. All right, I'll be back in a moment. We'll be back on Thursday.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Glad to have you. I got so much stuff going on here this morning, it's not even funny. We had posted some things on Facebook. I got a bunch of Maiden T-shirts that I made up last year. And then school was out, so wasn't anything selling, so I'm trying to reduce inventory a little bit. So I've got some shirts in here. We're doing $5 a shirt, different designs, and I got new designs coming out, and I got different stuff for all the schools. So I had somebody come in, want to pick up a few shirts. So I need to take care of that while I could. Let me get a couple more things. Let's see. Richie said Mac sells the state of North Carolina kids when he recruits them. Well, there's a lot of kids that they've lost out of North Carolina that Carolina has lost, and some other ones as well. Richie said that's why you see Mac trying to get the kid out of Shelby, going after one of the Maiden boys. And you want to be able to recruit your state. I think that's important. I've always thought that was important, that you try to recruit your state. Sometimes you don't think about that. Why do you want to go that far away and not be able to get kids that you got here in your backyard? Those are the ones that you want to get. And so you just have to you got to recruit your backyard first. That's the first thing you have to do, or I think it is. You don't want kids slipping away and coming back and beating you. You know, Andrew brought up a good point. There were 3 or 4 good-looking Clemson quarterbacks out there because they had come to Clemson and then they left because it just didn't work out there. And one of those is it Chase Bryant, quarterback at Appalachian? First he went to Clemson, I think. Then he went to Duke, and then he wound up, he's at Appalachian now. Now, he's a 1-year, but still, whatever you can get out of that, you get out of that. So you take what you get, but you've got to recruit in-house. You got to recruit what you got here. Let me take a look at some things that are going on this day. Let's see. Bobby Riggs. You know, I never knew that Bobby Riggs was a serious tennis player. I just remember the challenge of the sexes. Now, you younger folks won't remember that, but Bobby Riggs took on Billie Jean King. And he was a 1941 U.S. Nationals champion at Forest Hills and 1939 champion as well. Bobby Riggs was a serious tennis player. He was a pretty good showman. I guess that's why I didn't think of him as being that good a tennis player. But I just remember him from the thing that he'd done long after his career was over. 1953, Roy Campanella sets catcher record of 125 RBIs en route to 142. That's from the catcher position. That's what made that one unique. Whitey Ford becomes the 5th pitcher to pitch consecutive one-hitters back in 1955. Let's see. 1968 U.S. Women's Open, because that goes on over Labor Day weekend. Virginia Wade wins first open-era U.S. singles title, beating Billie Jean King in 1968. White Sox in 1970 use a record 41 players in a doubleheader and lose both games. Now you probably got 40 pitchers on the roster. On this date, 1975, the Cincinnati Reds win the earliest National League title division title this early. And there's at least 25%, I would think, left. I would think that would be right. On this day in 1979, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network makes its debut. Who is that? ESPN makes its debut. 1981, this was a record. Cleveland Browns quarterback Brian Sipes sets a club record of 57 pass attempts. Now, 57 seems to be low for pass attempts. 1984, Dwight Gooden's 11 strikeouts give him the National League rookie record of 236 on this day in 1984. Just think of what he could have been if he could have just kept himself straightened out. 1986, the Cleveland Browns become the first team in NFL history to have a play reviewed by instant replay. 1986, has it been around that long? That's a little surprising to me. I did not realize that. Richie said, of course, he lost a few of those. Some of those guys like Shipley and Simpson, both out of Charlotte, went to Clemson. They're going to lose some of those battles. To the point made above, winning the games against Virginia Tech helped win those recruiting battles. It sure don't hurt you, Richie. That's the biggest thing. 1986, Dan Marino throws his 100th career touchdown pass, the fastest quarterback in NFL history to do so at that time. Baseball Commissioner Fay Vinson resigned on this day in 1992. Former owner and team president of the Milwaukee Brewers, Bud Selig, is appointed and holds the office until becoming commissioner in 1998. A lot of tennis open. I'll have to pass because I don't follow tennis as much. Let's see if there's anything else going on of interest. See if we got some birthdays for today in sports. Paul Brown, born on this day in 1908, American Hall of Fame coach with Cleveland Browns and the Bengals, passed away in 1991. Come on, computer, don't hang up on me now. I need you. How about Al McGuire, born this day in New York City in 1931? We lost him. I didn't realize he had been gone. I lost him in 2001. 20 years. 20 years since Al McGuire has passed. Nobody else jumping out at me. A lot of cricket. We always have a lot of cricket, just not a lot to do with them. I don't see anything else. We got NFL football coming up on Sunday this week. Well, no, I guess it starts on Thursday. We'll make our picks here. I'm trying to find something I can put on the website so that we can let you guys pick. Maybe have a little pick 'em contest. It's just hard to find something that we can use. It makes it simple enough where we can get it done. But I think we can find something. We'll work on that and see if we can get involved in that just a little bit. I was off yesterday, so needless to say, my phone's rung off the hook this morning, so it's time to go to work. I'll be back in here again in the morning. Bill Bender will join us. Juju will join us as well. Hopefully you can join us, and glad to have you here this morning. Have a great Tuesday. If you're off yesterday like I was, now you got to start back to work today. I just hope it's not bad. Have a good one, folks.